Yeah, you know, I'm all about movies that will keep you at the edge of your seat. Yes, we're here today, and welcome to my pilot episode. Yes, and today we are discussing about four crazy movies. Yes, this movie are they're horror movies. Yeah, we have Annabelle, Conjuring, Pope's Exorcist, and The Nun. Yeah, these movies gave me chills when I was watching those movies. Yes, so yeah, and of course I brought two guests so we can talk about these movies together. Just share life experiences around everything that's going on. Yes. So yeah, I have Amaka and I have Favor. I call him Flacco. So Amaka, can you just say something little about yourself? Something small.
Okay, so my name is Amaka, aka Olamide, and I love to watch movies and anime also. So that's why Damola brought me on the show so I can, give my 2 cents about the movies he has selected.
And Favor.
I should say.
Say
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Favor. I'm also a movie enthusiast, and I like music. And I'm excited about today. Let's have a very mind-stimulating conversation with my friends based on movies we've seen.
Yeah. Yes. So now, Amaka, do you get scared of horror movies?
No, not really. I don't get scared of horror movies. Why? Because maybe because I'm used to extremely violent movies and anime, so anything like horror or blood but I like thrilling movies, something that gets me on the edge of my seat. Yes.
So you said you like what do you call it? Violence. You
I
like blood.
I like violence. I like fights.
Remember, The Conjuring is a true life story.
Yes.
Yes. So when I was watching, after seeing The Conjuring, I went online. I googled the real
People.
Yeah.
I was scared. I could not sleep that night. So now you want to tell me, like, after watching that movie, you not see one suit or one jacket he has in the night, and you're like, Mama Feba, you didn't get scared.
I mean, no, cause
I should be ashamed of myself.
the way they react to things is different. Me, it depends. Oh, that movie has to get to me like really hard before I start picking things in my house that relates to the movie, and I'm like, okay, this thing was in the movie and it's going to get me scared. Like, if it happens to be in the situation, you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But no, I don't. I barely get scared by things like that.
Strong woman.
Yes, I am.
Flacco.
Well, I'll say The Conjuring, right?
Yes.
I think the first part was really the scary one. Like, that's where it really got me off my feet. Like, another thing I learned is that before you move, like, we used to have this thing that we do in Nigeria before, where before you move into any house, your parents would have gotten pastors.
Yes, now.
Like, they will really sanctify the whole place to make sure that now people don't have that sense of fear, like anything has happened before, because something can happen bad in the place and they repaint it and anybody comes there. But like, it's actually scary that they got to the house.
Yes.
They saw the house for what it is. The movie would have ended after like the first scene if it were a black family, because they would say,
exactly,
we are not having
like,
this.
This is not racism. It's traits to white people. They see danger like this and they will go for it. They are not bothered.
But like, the movie to itself is actually scary. It was scary enough for me to
scared.
Yeah, I was the first one. Like, I go watching horror movies to scare me. I get disappointed when I don't get scared. Because if you check it now, like, if you compare the scary movies we used to watch back in the day before now, because there was just something so raw and uncut about it. And like, now we have plenty things to like make something look good, or they use computers, but like, those days they really used to put in efforts to try to scare you.
Wait, I
And
have
it's
a
more
question.
scary when you find out at the end of the day that, oh, these things really happened to people.
Exactly.
And it could be happening to anybody around you, even in your
Yeah.
own space, and you would not know.
I don't want to see it too. Just have it there.
One question for you though.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about movies you used to watch back in the day. Like
Yeah.
all those, is it all those Yoruba
Is
movies?
it Koto Aye? Do you watch
Koto
Koto Aye?
or
Not just I watch Yoruba movies. I watch Koto.
because those ones where
I watch Koto Aye, I watch Apoteri. I like
Wow.
you watch Akpoteri.
yes, it's a like and like
He said
for some time.
Apoteri.
That's what, like, and for some point, like I'm sure in most family houses in Nigeria,
Yeah.
on Sundays at a particular time, you might just be passing, might not necessarily be you or your family. You listen to somebody talking about Nkombe. Yeah, that's how.
You're
Like,
right.
then you watch movies and be scared. I remember the first Nigerian movie I watched that was scary, where they had to call a pastor to come and exorcise a child that was where people died. Like I watched.
Nigerian
It's a
movie.
Nigerian movie.
Trying to
Like
remember the
I watched that movie and like for 2 days I was scared. I was still much younger then, but like there was just something about it, you know. And then I didn't even realize that I actually liked scary movies. You understand? Like I was genuinely scared. Now going back from all that, seeing all that I've seen in scary movies, you'll be expecting more,
No, yeah.
Okay.
but like you get disappointed.
So I have one question. First of all, yeah, I've been thinking about it since. So you have a partner now. You guys have been together for like, let's just say 7 months. Let's say 6 months. Then you now discover that this is my girlfriend or this is my boyfriend. It was once possessed. What will you do?
Man,
And you now saw videos of when they were doing.
when they were doing the exorcism,
What will you do?
well,
That one is
in
hard.
Nigeria, yeah.
Mm.
Let me not try to sound one type of way, but
Yeah.
sometimes when I hear that a child has been possessed,
Yes.
I look at it from two angles. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody has bad people in their family. I'm just trying to say it gets to a point where in a child's life where when you don't do what your family is expecting of you, you are not necessarily doing anything wrong, but when you don't do what is kind of expected of you,
Yeah.
there is this kind of what is what I should use? Yeah, what was the main sort of question that
What will
you
you
asked?
do if you find out?
Yeah,
Your partner was
you find out that
possessed
most of all these things, yeah, they were going for exorcism or they were going for deliverance based on the fact that another human being felt that their attitude or how they react is like not of this world. It must definitely be possessed by something. So
Okay.
there are two ways to it, and the person might really have been
Possessed.
possessed.
before.
Now that's where it gets really tricky, because I don't want to be that kind of person that caught somebody love because of what they had experienced in the past, or how I don't know what is going through with that person.
That
It's
past-
still
that past-
exorcism.
that
I know
past is different.
it's
another
different.
Past. Ha.
At least you know hands. Yeah. What of the ones that they are actually possessed? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has not really manifested to the
You have
point
not seen
where
it.
like you can actually identify it. Maybe someone's just acting erratic, you just say yes, you can attribute this behavior
that's-
to being
that's-
possessed.
that's understandable.
But somebody can be possessed and be quiet around you unless the person starts acting out. But like if I should find out that the person was like, I'll really put in that effort to be sure that, like, you know, there's really no,
As for me,
you run.
I'll run.
It's wise. It's a wise decision.
Run.
Everyone, you can
You
pick
run.
your pick your battle.
You run.
I would most likely run, but I'm a very curious person. Actually,
You know,
and curiosity
you know
kills
what
the
you
cat.
just judging
Wait,
whites
wait,
now that
wait,
they will
wait. But yeah, I'm part of them. I don't know,
Okay.
but I'm a very curious person. I think I would like to, if it's my partner, it will actually be hard for me to just like give up on that person and like run and not want to have
Let me
anything
know,
to
maybe
do
it
with that
will even
person again.
become an
Let me
inside
tell you
joke.
something. See, you can never really know, like you said, because until it's manifested.
Yeah.
there are a lot of people on the road that are walking that are not human. There are a lot of people. Let's even talk. Let's even forget about being. Let's even forget about being possessed now. Like there are people that are spirits.
Spirit, yeah.
Do you understand?
Just for instances where you be hearing, oh, someone died, but a relative that stays far away.
You know,
just
when we're doing Yoruba in secondary school, they said this stainless spoon. If you eat it, they don't like hearing those sounds. People that came back, those Akudaya people, they don't like it. Once you do it like this,
chase them off.
To be like, I understand. So let me.
But they are human beings now. These people that are saying you want to run away from,
they came. So you believe in people that came back?
Reincarnation, like, yes.
Or trapped souls that have not crossed.
For instance, now you know Mr. A, you know Mr. B. Then Mr. B dies. Then Mr. A now tells you that Amaka, I saw Mr. B in so place.
Okay. And do you guys know about Abiku? Do you know Abiku?
I know those ones now.
So if Yoruba people can believe in like the whole Abiku myth and everything, and I've heard stories, you get that kind of thing, and I actually believe in myths. I believe in spirituality, all these things a lot. Why you say okay like that? Calm down first. So basically, yes, I believe in reincarnation. I believe that a lot of people, there's a spiritual realm aside from like this whole. Why is this thing?
So before we the Pope's Exorcist. That movie talks a lot about this before Christianity. You know, those demons were trying so hard not to let Christianity come into because watching that movie, you notice that. Like, no, you have to stop that man. You have to stop that man. So that was the plan. So you think if those people were not around then, do you think right now, sitting down as we are now, something might just enter?
True.
Do you think if they did not do those things then? You believe in those things that happened? Because I searched about this particular man.
Yeah.
So you believe that if those people did not fight, they said they fought how many demons? I think over 100. So do you think those things would still be like now? I feel we are chilling now, we're flexing. You don't see all those things like.
Let me. I don't want to be boring, but sorry. I don't want to be boring, but let me take you guys back a bit because I studied English, and history of English is also part of most of these things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So basically, back then when exorcism was like a really really big thing, that even the popes were not really, like the cathedrals were not really into it back then. There's some things like witch hunts that happened back then. You get, and some people innocently were killed. They were killed that they did not even have like spirits in their blood. They were not possessed. They did not have powers, and there were some that really did have the powers. So a lot of people died back then because of that mentality. Do you get? But at the same time, they killed the ones that were witches. So if back then there was no exorcism, like just like the Pope exorcists now, this question that you asked now, most of us will not be sitting here because maybe the world will be different. It will be a different case scenario. Maybe we'll even be more spiritual. There will still be voodoo and juju and all those things. Spiritualism will be extreme, on the high extreme. Yes. Do you get? But now we are chilling, like you said, because you know things there were occurrences that happened back then that led to where we are now based on spirituality.
Yes. So do you have anything to say about this?
Based on that, I would really say it's not more of those things are not happening still. It's just that the world is not really as spiritual as it used to be. Years ago, there are so many things that everybody would have pictured that, okay, this thing's happening for spiritual, it had a spiritual significance, but now people are not really in tune with spirituality as they used to be. So like they can't really have anything to relate with because they've never really felt what it feels to like. So it will be hard for them to comprehend or make sense out of it. So they just believe that, like, the way we think about spirituality and all, most people walk around the world thinking that every other human being that is not them is a non-playable character. Like NPC, they don't, like, their life does not exist. Then they will now go as far to back it up with statistics that so this. So spirituality has actually calmed down. Like family values where we used to have that parents will wake children up and everybody, no matter how busy you are, no matter how late you slept at night, you have devotions
Did
the
you pray
next
this
morning.
morning?
What?
Did you pray this morning?
Father Lord bless me, man. Like I woke up.
Yeah.
But like then I know how I was growing up.
Yes. That's
Like 4 a.m. in the morning. We're already in the living room. My dad we're already in the living room
most times
having
you go to my school
like
uniform. We are going
another
to
thing
church first.
when like I said now, when my brother was moving out to his first house, before he even decided that this is going to be my house, we don't even know the history of the compound. But I know that like 6 pastors, either from the side of my mom's side or somebody, they sent
came.
me. I was just looking at it like,
Your mom Yoruba?
No, my mom's not Yoruba.
Okay.
I'm not Yoruba. Like none of the things that everything just
Yeah,
you get.
I understand. Yes. Concerning this movies now, remember the Conjuring is like inside Annabelle. The Warrens, the witch,
The Exorcist, the Exorcist, yeah.
Yes. So now, if you are to pick, if you are to like, let's say you were in that
era,
then if you are to pick one particular
story
that it felt like, okay, this is where it should be. Which one are you going to?
And I'll put yourself
I
in
don't know
that
if I want to be in any one of those
Yeah,
scenarios, but
me? I would say which one is it?
Conjuring, Annabelle.
If I'm supposed to stay, I'll probably be in the Nun.
no, you said between Annabelle and
Did you watch the
Conjuring.
recent Nun?
I've not seen the recent one, but
I saw the
previous
Jesus
one.
Christ.
Like
But that Conjuring, if I was there, they got into the house.
yeah.
They saw their, dog. When you have a dog, it says
Yeah, dog will not come
go
inside.
enter the house. Dog was outside too.
Outside
Dog
too,
died.
and it did not raise an alarm. Like I feel like another thing
So
if you
that's
sign.
I think it was
Another
Annabelle.
thing,
That's
if you notice,
yes.
as much as in this modern world
Yeah.
we do not realize the like spiritual importance of animals of animals in their house. Like it should be something should be telling behaviors that your pets don't normally show.
Yes.
Or normally when it starts showing you should know that something's up somewhere or
Yes.
something.
Signs.
Like first day you moved into a house, a bird flew from wherever it was flying to come and hit your window. And when you speak about it, they say, "Oh, it happened." Like birds just keep using
Coincidence.
that particular window. That's enough information
Yes.
needed for me to know that.
I feel like then they were not informed. We were growing up now. We saw Kotayi, we saw this thing. We understood that okay, all these things they are not normal.
But
then
wait.
who gave them the information before then?
That's the thing. Yeah.
Think about it.
Wait.
When we
after watching-
look at it that way, it's
Yeah.
because we are in Nigeria.
God bless you.
We don't know the other. Well, I cannot even just say we are in Nigeria because as Nigerians, the kind of exposure we had to like some movies at a particular age, abroad you don't have that. Like you have strict parental supervision on like what you watch and everything. So like, I wouldn't say it is much
Wait.
different or anything.
Let me tell you something. The thing is, like the white people back then, like I said, they were doing witch hunting back then, and they were killing a lot of witch. And in Nigeria, we were accepting it because there were a lot of tribes like the Yoruba people, the Igbo people that were using voodoo, they were using juju, they were into spiritualism before Christianity was introduced.
Yeah.
Even in some villages right now, they still use it. Let me tell you something. There are some cases where the way people say, your village people are following you. Maybe you travel now, right? And
I've seen
I tend to read a lot about spirituality and like conspiracy theories and all this.
Now, like,
you just carry your phone.
Yes,
it's entertaining.
Yes, even my algorithm on TikTok and Instagram is always about conspiracy
Imagine waking up
theories.
in the midnight, you just
I'm used to it. The thing is that I read somewhere that when it comes to like spirituality,
yeah.
there's boundaries.
There's some lines.
Like there's regional boundaries. There are some it's like territory that they'll tell you, oh, this witches are in charge of this territory, this witches are in charge of this territory. I don't mean to scare you guys, but really that shit happens and it's real. That's why they tell you that, okay, if you come back from America and you go back to your village, the things that were
Don't
not
go
happening
back
to
to your
you before,
village.
it will happen to you. It's territory. Basically.
My cousin told me something when I went to Ekiti as my grandma's burial. That was how many years ago? I can't remember. So we're strolling, went to one bank. There was one car that got bumped. He now said, make I tell you. I said, tell me what. He said, the owner of this car, he came back from abroad, came to greet his people. So he wanted to enter the bank. The car was now doing over 80. Next thing, fire was coming out from the bonnet. The man could not come out of the car. It was when the car burnt. They now brought him out like easy. So me now, which I want to find. That's why some people once they get back from abroad, they won't even say they are going to the island.
Now let me tell you something about this regional thing that you said. Regional limitations.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's actually accurate of some sorts, because let's think about it. There are some countries that it's just like you saying that, oh, the gods in Nigeria, like the people in your village, they are disturbing you in Nigeria, and you pick up your bags and you run to somewhere like Haiti or Cuba or Brazil.
And you might be safe
the Shango, the Oromi, or all the water people that you are running away from, there are tribes there.
Yeah, that
is what they worship.
Too.
Something was not part of it before. Even at them living there, it would have not still been part of them, but based on the fact that they did not really understand the scenario they were in and the importance of having God at that particular moment. You understand? It was a good family, it was a good day, but like at the end of the day, they still needed God.
Yes, they still needed
all
God.
boils down to God.
Yes. So I also ask this question: you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I believe in God. So, there are some people that don't believe in anything. And you remember, I think one movie, was it Annabelle? Was it Annabelle 2 or 3 that the Warrens, they left their daughter? The one girl was babysitting.
Yeah. It was
Then the babysitter's friend, I think her dad died. Then she was trying. She knew that she knew that okay, if she could enter that particular room, she felt like she can save her dad, because she knows that that's where they keep that
everything, all the artifacts that are cost. They said that a priest always comes to pray in that room, so that the spirits that
the moment you unlock the Annabelle cage, all the other demons, I think they're attracted to it. So I think the babysitter did not believe in all those things. I feel like the fact, not what happened to her in the movie. The babysitter, I can't remember.
Oh, nothing happened. She was just trying to let them know about the boy that was stuck.
Yes.
In that place under.
So you believe that if you don't believe in these things, you won't attract them? Or is it that when you believe in it, that's when you attract them?
You don't necessarily have to believe in jazz to be jazz.
I swear.
So
to be very honest,
I say how do they say that? If you don't believe in something, if you don't, if you are just like me now. When I was young, I was scared of the dark, scared of staying in my room alone. I was like running from.
Oh, that stupid video that is always going around the internet after you watch a scary movie, you run to your room.
When you're bathing, soap is your eyes.
You just off all the lights and run.
You're paranoid about every
so that
single
the thing that came out of TV will not catch you.
I said
that period was really scary. So I believe then they will say, if you are not scared, nothing will happen to you. It's when you are scared, you will now be seeing, just like the figments of your imagination, you'll be seeing those things.
Like I was really confused when they said second week of dropping Conjuring, and some people were fainting in their house, they were feeling something. I'm not like, yeah, it happened in the movie. It was a real life story. But they did not carry the spirit from the TV to come and meet you.
Where did they not carry it from?
You are the one that is just scared by yourself now.
Okay. Just like
paranoia,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember when this was it Ebola came out. They said some people were just scared. They didn't even have Ebola. They just
yeah.
Like I watch horror movies a lot. It scares me because No, they scare me, and why I love them because it's just like an escape from reality. When I watch horror movies, I don't think about any other thing. I'm focused on okay, and they're always intriguing, really crazy. So now we've talked about Pope's Exorcist, sorry, Conjuring. Which one again? Annabelle. Annabelle doesn't really have the Nun.
Yeah.
The Nun.
Yo. After the Nun, I don't think I saw nuns the same way again. You go to someone's convent to greet somebody, you now see the nun. In the night, you now be having bad dream.
Yes. So there's one question I want to ask. So this one is just for fun. If you are stuck in a haunted house, who from these movies would you love to pick as a sidekick? The ones, the nun, if you, the nun in
Edge,
the Nun,
Lorraine, and yeah.
and what's it's the same the man from
Pope
Pope
Exorcist.
Exorcist. Who are you going to call?
Hmm.
Is it that man? But
I'll
that
call-
man is always very, very
I'll call
sarcastic.
Ed and Lorraine, man.
I would.
You know they almost failed in
They
part.
almost failed, yeah.
You know,
A lot of things went down, like, bro. Yo, now, but like, yeah, I'll
you
still.
know there was one boy that was working for them. The boy that was always doing the tape. After the movie, they played the real tape
Tape,
when the
man.
demon was making sound. I turned off my TV. I should now hear the tape. One thing now.
Come on, man, just.
Actually, I think I would like the Pope. I would like Gabriel because why would I like Gabriel? Gabriel in the Pope Exorcist.
Yeah.
His manner and approach towards exorcism was somehow
Sarcastic.
yes,
funny.
it was wrong. It's not the natural way it's supposed
go
to be
about,
done.
yeah.
But I don't know. To me, I actually kind of
Yeah,
liked it
he had
because
this special
yeah,
way.
he
that
did.
Latin prayer.
And he didn't want
Yeah.
to be bothered by okay, this thing is scary, it's
Oh, not-
evil.
yeah, he just wanted
He's
to
always
exercise.
like throwing jokes before the whole thing
Yeah.
to make it more like he doesn't even want to think about it because that's the thing. A lot of people they're very atheist when it comes to spirituality, that they don't really believe in God. That's why you were saying something before about if you believe in such would it be
Yes.
attracted to
Yes,
you?
yes.
You get that kind of a thing. I think that was the kind of mentality that Gabriel was using, that he believed in
They
it
feed-
though,
they
yes,
feed-
so
they feed on our
but
fears.
exactly
Yeah.
he didn't want to really show his fears. And I think in a situation like that, I would call someone like that to help me push my fears aside to be able to fight those battles, which is one thing that God is always trying to tell us. I actually go to MFM. Sorry, everyone. Proudly, I go to MFM. So in MFM, there's this mentality about MFM. Fire everything, fire.
Yes, it's not
You are
fire,
fighting
fire.
enemy that is
It's
not
not
there.
fire,
Okay,
fire.
okay. Let me tell you, we are talking about spirituality now. Spirituality is everywhere.
You're fighting against enemy that is not there.
I said that's the men. Wait, see, that's the mental. Actually, I was going to a Pentecostal church before, and I decided to, my dad was like, "Oh, he just came on one day and said we're going to start going to MFM." I was like, "Why? Why am I following this MFM? There's this mentality about MFM. And I'm not ready to be involved in that. You get." But when we went for the church, when you want to like become a member, most of the time you go through like a deliverance kind of session for like 3 days dry fasting. And I went through it. It was quite something. But the following, the fourth day when we went for the main program and all of that, it was quite interesting. I don't know what it was. I mean, let me just tell you something. If you go to headquarters MFM, just know that you'll be seeing those flying in the air. You get something. That's something. That's telling you something. Why those for that matter? But basically, don't let me digress and things like that. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that God teaches you, or in MFM rather, they teach you how to fight your battles. A lot of people go to Select, they go to churches, they are looking for pastor to pray for them, they're looking for people to pray for them. But in MFM, they teach you how to fight your battles. You don't necessarily need a pastor. The faith that you have in God and how you pray, your strength in prayer can take you really, really far. And that's something that I held on to from MFM. That's why I was saying that it's something that this guy really incorporated in every of his exorcism that he was going to. He wasn't really too bothered. He wasn't doing things based on fear. It was just cool, chilled about it. There's a way that you just stand firm on your whatever it is, you get that kind of a thing. So I would go for Gabriel, basically.
It was.
Yeah, the Lawrence, yeah.
Gabriel. Just stay behind him.
You get.
Yes.
Well, you do realize that in some sort of exorcism, as much as you are there to save someone's life or to exercise, to a point, you still have to be a little bit emotionally. You have to have like some kind of emotional, like.
He was emotional
It's not as
at
if
some
he's not
point.
emotional.
Later on, when he saw that, okay, it's serious, so it's getting
got
serious. You get, because he thought it was like just one of every other
Like
this thing that exorcism. But he realized that okay, he was dealing with, when he saw the eyes, he saw that okay, I'm dealing with something really, really big here, and I need to like be serious.
Yeah.
Even as that,
But-
when he was still serious, he was still joking at some
Like
point.
Ed and Lauren, they don't have to wait for something to get too serious.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the like, and I'm choosing her because for God to send them my way, this woman has been seeing visions and dreams.
Yeah.
So for the fact that she made it there at that particular moment, I feel like, it was like, you understand?
Now, I have 2 questions left. This question now is, talking about deliverance. Then I went to one church. I used to play drums for them. Then I went with my friend, and he went with his sister. That my friend Daniel doesn't believe in. That my friend Daniel doesn't believe in all those person they fall down. You look at them and you fall. One pastor can go. So that day, Daniel is someone that, if you see him, you know that he doesn't go to the gym. Doesn't go to the gym. If you see him, you know that this guy is very, very, like, very, very strong.
Huge.
Calabar boy. Dude, like this. So that day, the pastor was doing. And when you are what do you call it? When you are like, when the pastor is saying amen, you eat the drum. Amen, amen. So
Okay.
it was not amen. I was just doing like the next thing. The man went to the front of it. I said ladies were falling down. I saw Daniel. The man was in there. Daniel. Daniel was not saying, "Greater is he that is with me." Daniel.
It's not funny. Actually, it's not funny.
Like, Daniel, how? Daniel was like, "Greater." I said, Daniel, if Daniel can fall,
no,
me, I know gym. So from that day, he said he did not understand how it went down. But I remember he was saying greater is, everyone was going quiet. Greater is next he just went on the floor. Usher was knocking, he dragged his leg. So he was not telling the guy that I don't believe say I fit fall. But me, is it that the thing we do inside me nothing come out or there's nothing inside?
No, I think.
And the fact that I did not believe in those things, was that the reason why that thing did not happen?
I think it's getting back to when we were talking about if you believe in something, would you get attracted to the circumstances that surrounds it?
Yes.
I think that when it comes to that particular scenario of when people fall, when pastor touches their heads, actually me, I don't like it. Even my mom,
So
we don't like it. Even that or touch my head, that's all. The moment I don't like it.
But you did fall.
See, a pastor doesn't. I've never fell before. I've never fell before. Actually, I've never fell before. But there are so many case scenarios where if God wants to move, if Spirit wants to move,
To catch you.
nobody needs to touch your head. It will catch you instant. Do you get? But there are some people that have been ordained by God, and if you give them the opportunity to touch your head and they touch you, okay, God wants to pass that thing. My Lord, you go down. There's nothing you want to do, but it's very rare. It's on very rare occasion. It's not like it's everybody the pastor touches that must go down. And there's also the case scenario where if you believe, like faith, your faith is very, very strong, and if you believe, right, it can be, that spirituality can be manifested onto you and you can't fall. But there are some people who often pretend I'm not very well among. I want to be among. I'm sorry, I'm speaking Yoruba, but I want to be among.
They will not raise one leg.
Do you get? They want to act because
you enjoy yourself.
Yes, now me too. I fell. God has touched me. Yeah, that kind of a thing.
You guys
but
can also leave the part out where if you don't fall,
you feel.
not you feel. will now let you know that what is in you is bigger than what you think. Because I've pushed you enough. I remember when one time they were praying like for people in church and everything. I didn't want to stand up before. I got side-eye from my mom. I stood up.
You must stand up.
Okay. It was bad enough that I already stood up beside her. Then after everyone should walk to the altar. That's when I walked to the altar. They pray. Like, I believe most people, they over-exaggerate it.
Yes,
especially, I know if they touch you, you can fall down. You can fall and hit yourself. Not the one that you fall like you run around the congregation hitting anybody you want to hit.
I swear.
This
so like the first time when they started praying, when the pastor touched me, like I was feeling the prayers and everything, but I was not compelled to fall.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I was not compelled to fall. They pushed me. I was not compelled. Like I had already thought about it already. Like, if I don't fall this time, like
problem.
But
the real problem that they think I have, they're going
bring
to bring
the GO to come
bring,
and pray for you.
It's not even bring the GO. You can even do vigil on me alone. So
they'll bring like 6 Agba pastor to pray for you. You must go down. But the thing is, even in Celestial Church, that one is like very, very evident. But in Pentecostal churches where they actually perform miracles and all those things like that, if the pastor is genuine and pastor is actually ordained by God, right? And truly God wants to, pass the Holy Spirit on to people or deliver some people, you can never tell when it will happen. Exactly. It will happen, and you self go shock, say it happen, say just you go like down.
My friend, that is saying you don't understand how. Say him. I say who you be. You say him.
Like,
you say me.
Have you ever entered trance before? Where you are praying, the next minute you are saying rubbish. The other person behind you is like telling you that do you know, and you don't have any recollection of what's happened.
Just like the wife, she's always going.
It happens though.
You guys, I just remembered something. Have you guys ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Yeah, where you're awake and you cannot move your body.
I don't wake up. All those things.
Okay. To some people, okay, because now I wanted to like scare you guys a little bit.
But I know that stuff is real.
It has happened to a lot of people actually, and some people don't even live to tell the story because they die from it. You get
so that's the thing now. When I read about it, they say your eyes will be open, but you're not going to move.
Yes.
Remember,
it's medical.
It's not just mental sometimes. There are sometimes that you wake up in the morning and your body is really just you have the zeal to stand up. You want to stand up and do other things, but your body is not letting you. But your eyes and your brain, it will just be like you being awake. Your brain and your eyes are awake. You can see everything happening around you, but you just can't move to do anything.
Actually, it's not just that. Some people actually experience illusions.
Yeah,
right?
Illusion,
they see things that are not there. Most of the time, it's like your dreams just actually pour into reality, and you can actually see the things that you cannot differentiate between reality and what you get, that kind of a thing, and what is actually a dream. But in some cases, sleep paralysis is actually how spirits and demons sleeping on people.
You know they sleep like this.
Yes.
What if I sleep with my chest?
No, it's not how you sleep. It still boils down to the fact that if you believe in some things, right now, there are some people that don't really believe in God, and the activities that you engage in spiritually, maybe it can be sin or some things that you've done, you get, and it just allows the evil to like creep in. I'm sure you guys must have heard when they say from 12 to 3 is like the time is for spiritual warfare. That time that demons actually go around doing shit. You get, you must, and if you're somebody that you even get the opportunity to wake up from your sleep paralysis at that particular time, you have to pray, because it's sort of like something is happening. It's a sign that you should pray. And if I'm in that kind of situation, I always pray. If not that it's someone that wakes me up, I always have to pray. So that's one thing that I like. You said now you've experienced it. Damola hasn't experienced it. So if someone now, no, I was just asking. Why do you feel it cannot happen to you?
No, I don't. It's scary.
It's for some people it's a medical thing, right? Their brain is not settled. But in some cases, rare cases, it's spiritual.
Okay.
But if it has not happened to you, then that means you are really covered by the Holy Ghost, and then your brain is settled if it has not happened to you.
Yes. So lastly now, it's like two questions in one, but then I have, first of all, I need a yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in fake pastors? Fake pastors, like there are fake pastors out there.
I do believe.
You believe in fake pastors? Like,
do I believe that there are people that have not been ordained by God, but
that
they are acting like
they are doing business?
Why I believe, yes, there are plenty, a lot. That is why there's a revelation that when God wants to, when God comes again and wants to like get false prophets, he will go for them first. For God to have said that, it means there's every you get. So yes, I believe that there are fake pastors. That's why I said I don't like them touching my head, because there was this.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a quick 2-minute story. So there was this man, before we started going to MFM, there was this man that introduced my dad to one church, very far place like that, past bush before you. I'm like, why? Is he ritualizing people what's gonna do? Are you sure this place is church? You get that kind of a thing. And he was the kind of person that used to pass messages, prophecy and things like that, and used to touch people, you fall down. He was doing everything that made him seem like he was ordained by God. And then he told my dad some things and came to tell us, and we were just looking at him like, are you sure? This same thing that you're talking about is what you feel is happening between your family. You get that kind of thing. They'll pass wrong messages. They'll just say stupid things that you're not even supposed to be too bothered about, that a little prayer can fix that. You can actually go on your knees and pray and God will answer you. But you have to, some pastors will make you do some fetish shit that you're not supposed to do. Like you go and they'll tell you buy this, buy that before you can. They'll use it to pray for you and blah blah blah, things like that. You get that kind of a scenario. We won our dad against that man and he stopped going. And then I think like a month or 2 months after, we told our dad to stop going. We had news that they have carried pastor. Police have carried pastor. So there are a lot of things that people were not saying is a fake pastor, clinical. And they found out that he had the powers. He was doing ritualism. Like he was actually killing people to get the power that he said was given to him by God.
So like now, if you're in a situation like that, even if you are healed, you literally at the point where you literally feel like something has been taken away from
you. Yes.
So like there are some people that forget the whole concept of Christianity and everything. Like your pastor is just supposed to be somebody that helps guide you. Like
yes,
he's not your father. It's not your mother,
daddy.
Like, and it now pisses me to the extent where some people take those men's, like, let me not say those men, they take their words rather than like a pastor can tell you, go to your house, stay in that house for 2 weeks, do this, treat your husband this way. She'll say, thank you, daddy.
Yes, thank you, daddy.
Your husband that you live with, even if sometimes he might not be the most reasonable person or like me as a man, I give you order, but like
you don't listen to me.
But a pastor will tell you something and you will go
extra.
Because it's the voice of the Lord.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, you have to believe.
Before like, okay, must she calm down. Pastor's job is supposed to bring you closer, unite and everything. But if you plant a seed that paints your husband as or your wife as a bad this thing, imagine now you hear that your wife is the reason for all your misfortune. Like, and you just hear it from one pastor. Is your wife is the
some they say it's their mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
You now start treating your wife bad.
Based on what they said.
Based on what they said. And in actuality, instead of you to look back and sit down and like think about what you are doing, you just feel that once this information or this instruction has been given to me by a pastor who is also human being like me.
Yes.
Once I'm starting to see some fetish shit
like
in a pastor.
Let me give you an instance here. 2021, I went to a church in Warri.
Yeah.
When I got to Warri, there was no prior knowledge of anything whatsoever. Imagine if you sit down in church before the sermon starts, they will rearrange you. Like they will
Na exam,
they will
dey
literally
for
tell you stand up. You cannot sit down there. Go and sit down here. You stand up from there. Go and sit down here. You stand up from there. Go and sit down.
Na exam.
They will now look at you. As a boy, you have a little bit long hair. Please go outside and sit outside the church. If you are wearing wristwatch, you cannot wear your wristwatch inside the church. Like they have this so you cannot carry your hair inside the church. You understand?
MFMs like
And
that
people
too.
come from outside Nigeria to come there and say, oh, they watch this program, they get this thing, and like you'll be wondering that you watch this program from your house and you got blessed. While some people that are actively present here, like even if they might say, okay, my mission here is just to go and touch this pastor or just get him to speak to me when I go to that place. Yeah, it gives you instruction. You'll be doing it in the way that you feel like this pastor would want me to do it, not the way that God.
Thank God, yeah.
That's why we need to read our Bible.
You have to
Yes,
actually know
Lord.
God. Yeah, you have to actually know. Everything still boils down to spirituality. Like,
Yes,
it's just
yes.
like you trying to lecture somebody about something that you don't really know about.
I saw on TikTok that said that God literally gave us the cheat code, which is the Bible, to all things that is actually happening on the earth.
Yeah,
But
okay.
we
Because
don't
if
read.
you
We don't
think
read our
about it,
Bibles.
even down to things that are still happening in 2023.
Yes.
Bible, of course, like foretold stories about all these things before. It can still be relatable to like everyday human experience. It's something that you actually take your time,
So
because another thing I've noticed is that the Bible is open to different interpretations based on the type of version you are reading. Like, and most of all these translations,
plenty.
most of all these translations have been doctored to fit a particular agenda.
Conspiracy theory, though.
Conspiracy theory, like,
the
the
Bible
Bible
is not complete.
It's not just not complete. If you look at Bibles that were done in the year 2000, let's just say from the 1999 or so, and compare it with Bibles that we have today,
They've been
some words have
altered.
been changed.
Yes.
Some phrases have been rephrased. Now, reading the Bible a couple of years ago and reading that version now, there will be a lot of discrepancies that you have to point out that will make you ask some certain questions. So, at the end of the day, whichever instruction is being given to you by said man of God, also, I feel you yourself should go to God and ask him. You do what they ask you to do if you feel like it is like in accordance with your faith and what you feel. But you should not rule out the counsel and believe that the person that has all the answers to your question is another human being.
yes.
It's
So
really a flawed
Chickens.
theory for you
So-
to for you to think so.
so the bottom line is we should be able to discern personally. Yes, discern personally, know what you're doing, and yes, watch these movies because everything is not spiritual, but then everything is spiritual. And pray. Yes. Pray
They're
and
really
watch your back.
real stories
For me, I'm still going to watch horror movies.
Definitely.
Conjuring. I think part 4 is coming out.
coming out.
Yes.
You guys,
Thank you so much
I really
for
hope
joining us today.
you guys find time to, appreciate the art that is at, like horror movies. Like most of you are missing out on premium entertainment just because you are scared to.
Animes.
I watch anime,
I know.
but there are scary animes.
Wait.
That's us.
Thank you so much.